Yeah, weekend with late goals and drama. There wasn't really a game that was massively significant. Arsenal 2, Liverpool 2 didn't really tell us much. But today, one game got very significant as Manchester United sacked Eric Ten Hag, or he left. Don't know which one, really, but sack sounds better. And the West Ham game obviously tipped Ratcliffe over the edge, and he is a goner. More of that to come a little bit later on. Josh is with me. How are you, mate?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. We are without Sean this evening, coincidentally, as Spurs lose to Palace away from home. We'll get his thoughts next week, I am sure. Let's see, we've got joining us in the chat. Michael, well, evening all. We won the game, but lost the sack race again, looking like Amorim going to Man United, of course. Yeah, I saw that on Sky before I came live on air. That was interesting. He's doing very well at Sporting so far this season, and yeah, Van Nistelrooy in interim charge of Manchester United. Hello from Merseyside, George Grandad. I hope you are well. Dyche starting to turn it around. We'll talk about Everton a little bit later on. Not sure about it being Dyche. There we go. There we go. We were so negative, and to be honest, absolute rubbish. Michael says, I'm beaten in 5 now, so corner turn. He'll contact later on. Peter, hope you well. Good evening, Jake, Josh, and chat room usual is in. Michael Oliver got him sacked. More of that to come later as well. But we're going to start on Friday night football, Josh, at the King Power, where Nottingham Forest are up in the top half of the table, and they've had a rosy start to the season. Beat Leicester by 3-1.
Yeah, I think Forest moved to 5th Friday night. I think they
Yeah.
got that high, which is amazing, really. I think a lot of people at the start of the season were saying, first manager sacked, same Forest to be down there again. And they proved everyone wrong. I think they've only lost one game all season. I think they're unbeaten at home. They should have got one of the best defensive records as well. I think it's second behind Liverpool. They're doing really well. I thought they deserved to win that game comfortably as well. I mean, second half they could have had 6 or 7. Some of the chances they were getting, Ryan Yates alone, the holding midfielder, he scored one. He could have had a hat trick, and he's a holding midfielder. Second half, they absolutely blitzed them. They could have had 6 or 7 really. Leicester, I just wasn't impressed by them at all. Apart from 5 or 10 minutes spell in the first half, didn't really offer much, to be honest. They were just playing on the break sort of thing. I think at home, local derby, they'd sort of take the game to them a bit more, apply a bit more pressure on the Forest back line, but just didn't really. But just sort of sat back and just played for the point, trying to hit them on the break, and just didn't really work for them. He just not what you'd expect from Derby. I said he'd hoped they'd be all up for it, and I just really wasn't impressed by them. No. And then Forest, it was a really good performance. I'd have said he could have had 6 or 7. Honestly, I think they hit both posts. I'd have said Ryan Yates could have had a hat trick. Chris Wood scored 2 goals again. He's really been a FPL bargain this year. I know quite a few people who've got him in. But yeah, fair play to Forest. They've had a very, very good start. As for Leicester, I think they're about 13 for 14 for 2 because they've got a couple of wins. And they beat Southampton last week at 3-2 that was quite a good win for them. They were trailing with 20 minutes to go, 2-0. They won that one 3-2. They have had a few good results, to be fair to them, but if playing like that every week, I'm sure they'll get dragged back into it at some point because I still feel like Cooper's really failed to impress the Leicester fans yet. I don't think they impressed them anyway. They were convincing them anyway, to be honest, obviously because of this Forest links. I think it's going to take something significant to win them over. At the minute, I just really don't see how they're going to stay in the division if they're playing like that. Yes, I think they're about 13 to 40. They've got 9 or 10 points. But they have had a few flukes as well, to be fair. If you think of the points they've got, I know they got a draw against Tottenham. Tottenham should have not side first half in our first game of the season. I think they beat Bournemouth 1-0. They Bournemouth also could have won that one comfortably. And then they beat Southampton last week. But I think they were playing against 10 men for most of the second half. Obviously, still a very good comeback when you're 2-0 down. They were playing against 10 men. So if you look at a lot of the points they've got, it's quite a few of them have been flukes. And the other night, it just really failed to impress me. And I think a lot of the fans really just on buying the Cooper project at all, to be honest.
Leicester's an interesting one because they've looked good at home at some point, but yeah, I was really
Yeah,
unimpressed. I watched it on Friday. I was really unimpressed, and there's quite a parallel between, or not parallel, there's sort of difference between the two sides. I mean, Forest up in seventh now, Leicester are down in, I think it was 15th. It is, yeah.
yeah,
9 points on the board, which their fans probably taken at the start of the season. To be fair, it's a solid, steady start. They've picked up points and they've kept things ticking over. But yeah, I mean, Jamie Vardy scoring customary, of course. But in terms of Forest, they'll be delighted with their start, and they've got us next, and that won't fear them too much. Even though after the result of the weekend, they might fear us a little bit more, but they're a fantastic outfit, and at home, a really, really tough side to beat. So yeah, that's going to be interesting to see how we adapt to that next week. Let's see who else is joining us in the chat. James, hope you're well. Good evening, guys. And also, we'll have a hard job against Forest, absolutely. Early doors at TV. Thank you for joining us. I hope you are well. Chris Wood doing well. Always scores against us as well. Yeah, West Ham beating Man United is always a great thing. Always, always. Think Jake's getting the babysitter out before the show starts. Honestly, you guys just can't help yourself, can you? Like, calm it down, please. Oh, you get so excited. Trini, hope you well. Where is Mario tonight? I do not have the Mario costume on tonight. Just for a bit of context, Josh, I'm going as Mario to a Halloween party on
oh,
Thursday. Do you know what? Do you want to see it?
yeah, I do, yeah. Go
I'm
on.
going to show you. Yeah, I'm going to show you anyway. Right. There is the Mario costume. Right.
Oh,
There
wow.
it is. Ready for Thursday. My mate's going as Luigi. So we've got Mario and Luigi. I'm obviously main character, of course. And yeah. No. No.
Fair enough.
No. Right, let's move on, shall we? Brentford 4, Ipswich 3. Now, I kept looking at this game and the score kept changing, so I'm just going to have a little look to see what actually unfolded here. Brentford have been involved in so many high-scoring games. Just so far this season, they've been involved in 2-3-1s, a 5-3, a 4-3. I mean, honestly, they have just been the spectacle so far this season, Brentford, right? And this game twisted and turned. I don't even know where to start looking at this score sheet. A 96th minute winner from Brian Mbeumo. Ipswich thought they got themselves back and got themselves a point with a Liam Delap goal in the 86th minute. Just chaos, Josh. Absolute chaos. Brentford 4, Ipswich 3.
Yeah, Brentford, just such a funny team, really. You just never know what you're going to get with them. The type of team that always give like a good side a game. But then, like in games like this, just make it really hard for themselves. But they're also usually in high scoring games, as you said. It's a really funny team. Um, yeah, this one it was a bit mad to be honest. I think Ipswich were 2-0 up at half time, but I'm not sure it was half time. They were definitely 2-0 up early on. And then Brentford got it back to 2-2, and then it went 3-2, and then Ipswich had a man sent off. I think that was about 20 minutes to go. So I think they made it 3-3 with 10 men as well. And I'm sure it was at 90 plus 8 or something that Buemo scored. So yeah, I think that's a bit of a killer for Ipswich, to be honest. I don't think that's going to do just do any favours psychologically, how scoring 3 away from home and getting beat. It's not ideal for them at all. Pretty sure the bloke who got sent off, it was his first ever Premier League game as well. He gave away a penalty and got sent off, second yellow. So it's not a great Premier League debut for him.
No.
Sure, they're having a few injury problems as well. I think Ogbene went off injured. That'll be a big blow for them. I think Morsey as well. He might have got injured, so it's not looking great for them. I actually think they've been all right in quite a few of the games. Ipswich, they really impressed me against us. They look quite good going forward. I think at home they will cause teams problems. I've said it before when the crowd get behind them, and I think they've got the best chance of staying up out of all the newly promoted teams. They've been in every game really. They haven't really been battered yet. Well, I think they used to beat them 4-1, something like that. But they've usually been in most games, and they look quite competitive, but I don't know, results like that just not going to do them any favours psychologically at all. But I do think that they play decent football. They've got a good manager at McKenna. He's willing to change it based on who he plays. He's a good manager. I think they've got a chance, but yeah, that's a killer for them, not losing 4-3 in the last minute like that. But I do think they've got a chance.
Mm. they've had a couple, haven't they? Ipswich. I think they were leading Southampton down at their place, and they no, I think they got back into the game down at Southampton.
They've been winning a
So
few
maybe
and flew
that's
away leads.
sorry.
They've thrown away quite a
Yeah,
few leads
they
this
have.
year.
Yeah, against us, they threw away a lead. They were 1-0 up. We beat them 4-1 a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, they've been a little bit sloppy in some cases. Brentford have been on the back end of being ahead. I mean, Brentford have been ahead in so many times and lost games this season. So they'll feel like that they've had justice served there. And yeah, an overall fantastic game. Maybe the TV companies are going to start putting Brentford on the telly, because it seems every week they're on Saturday 3 o'clock and they keep putting out corkers. Like, they're always involved in these high scoring games. With a 4-3, a 5-3, 3-1. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Right, let's take some comments before I carry on. Brentford is the place to go for goals, goals, goals. Absolutely. I remember Brentford nylons. I don't know what a Brentford nylon is. I hope it's nothing rude, because I'm Googling it now. A Brentford nylon. I don't know. You're going to have to elaborate. A poly cotton sheet. What are they? Sheets? Bed sheets? I don't know. Come on, you guys are showing your age. You are. You are right. Peter says, wonder if Visser and Mbemo would score goals for us. They would. Really neat and tidy duo they are, and have scored goals and been reliable for Brentford for a good few years now. Ruben Amorim seems like the man currently for grounding the chase. I mean, maybe they're running away from Old Trafford. I would be if I was a manager, to be totally honest. Mbemo would do well here. I'd love Mbemo. Absolutely. Think Ipswich could have got a mistake getting Muric as goalie. Wasn't he at Burnley?
Oh yeah. I'm not sure if you've seen that last goal from Mbuemo. He was so tall for it. It's like a cross from Mbuemo from like out wide, and it sort of just looped all the way in like a very slow pace. He's not looked great, but yeah, he was at Burnley, I think. He's not looked great for him.
Yeah. Let's go on to Villa next. Aston Villa 1, Bournemouth 1. Talking of late goals, Josh, another one came and not to the benefit of Aston Villa. Bournemouth saved a point. How was the game? Did you watch it? Were you there?
Yeah, I was there. I thought we've actually played really well for 70, 75 minutes. I'd say we absolutely dominated them really. I just thought we just didn't see the game out very well at all. First off, we had enough chances to be outside by half time really. We had a disallowed goal from McGinn. He said the ball was out of play. I've seen it back and it looks like it just about was, but it's very, very close. And without VAR, the goal would have been given because they have to check if the ball was out to play once it's gone in. Although I don't know if you remember that Newcastle one last season against Arsenal where like the ball might have gone out of play. Yeah, it's quite similar to that one, and they give it last year for Newcastle, so we can be a bit unlucky. We could have been a bit unlucky with that one. Like it did look out, but then from different angles, like the whole ball, like some of it still looks in, but then over angle, like the whole ball does look out. It's just I don't know. It's one of them. If there's not VAR, if the goal stands, it's one of them. But modern football, they're always gonna have a look, and then it's just a 50-50. Then they make the rules up as they go along.
I'm not going to moan about VAR this weekend. I'm just going to put that out there.
Fair enough. But yeah, it's completely identical to that Newcastle one last year. So it's just the consistency really that annoys me. But even so, we had enough chances to be out of sight first half and the second half too. And then obviously we finally get the goal from Ross Barkley, really scrappy goal. And then you just think, well, that should be it then. We'll get over the line now. But we just didn't see the game out at all. As soon as we scored, we shut up shop and it just didn't work at all. We just didn't control the game very well. And we were trying to time waste and just ended up costing us because the ref would have more time on. And we give away 3 silly fouls in injury time. 2 of them from Matty Cash, who looked dodgy all game as usual. I also think I have my moan about VAR in the first half, but I think we sort of got away with one in the second half as well. Matthew Cash, again, just this usual clumsy 1v1 defending. Semenyo knocks it past him when he just sort of clips his heels in the box. It's not even checked by VAR, which is a bit laughable, really, but we weren't complaining at the time. Then yeah, eventually we just give away three silly fouls from wide areas in injury time, and were punished. I think it was like 96th or 97th minute he scored. But yeah, it was just really, really stupid, poor, just game management really. Just did not see the game very well at all. But when you're given you give them three free kicks in the 6 minutes of added time, for in dangerous positions. I mean, you sort of just give throwing the game away then really, just really, really just silly.
Well, I
So
mean,
yeah,
Josh, you can't be top of the blimmin' Champions League and win every week in the. I mean,
uh,
top of the Champions League, top of the 36.
uh,
Is it 36 teams?
yeah, 36, yeah,
Top of the 36. Wow, what a place
mental,
to
yeah.
be. What a place to be. But yeah, not the result you wanted. Coming back into the Premier League, Villa TV. Unfortunately, Villa dropped points aside. I didn't go. I was watching my local. Lovely. There we go. Good stuff. Love to hear it, mate. Love to hear it. Peter says Bournemouth has some players who will go to big clubs in the next year or so. Andoni Iraola is the manager that we are going to idolise for and want at West Ham, and fair play to them. They're going to do well this season. Peter says I could see officials adding 30 minutes on at some point this season. It's getting silly. I mean, yeah, we played up to 105 minutes yesterday, which was absolutely crazy. 15 minutes of added time we had, and then I mean, yeah, you had to add that to like, was it 3 or 4 minutes of the first half? You had nearly 20 minutes of added time over a game, which is just ballistic, really,
Yeah.
absolutely ballistic. Remember at the beginning, yeah, exactly. We were seeing 14 and 11 minutes being added on at the start of the season. That sort of dwindled a little bit, didn't it? But they were adding stupid amounts of time on. It dwindled. There's a surprise. Just like time wasting yellow cards dwindled to an extent. They just can't keep it up. Everton on the telly last Saturday at 5:30. It must have been an absolutely dreadful game for the neutrals to watch. Really, who was scheduled us to put on a team? Everton are. I don't know whether it's just me, but Everton are like a proper Saturday R5 like team. Like Sky seem to like putting Everton at Goodison Park on Saturday at 5:30. It seems like having your tea. Everton are on. Yeah, let's have a bit of that. We're coming on to that game now. Josh, Everton won, Fulham won. It seemed like a classic 5:30 game. Sky knew what they were doing. It wasn't great. I'm going to be totally honest. I watched some of it. It wasn't great. Yeah, but both teams are quite funny, and both teams probably don't know what their expectations are for the season of where they ideally are happy to finish. Would you say that? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just them 5:30 Saturday games. They're always usually dreadful games. Like it's always usually two crap teams. Like they never really make it that great. The 5:30 Saturday ones. You have the odd once a season where it's like I don't know. You have a team who's like going for Europe against one of the big sides, and that might be really interesting. But sometimes it's just like two crap teams. I just think, what is the point of putting games like that on the telly? Like, but anyway, the game, it was grim watch really.
Yeah.
Everton, I've said it before, they're just so dire. The way they play is just absolute Route One. I just don't even see like I just said it's Route One, but I don't know if it's that. Like sometimes it's just aimless long balls. It's not even like there's a target. It's just hitting hope. Like that's all it is. Calvert-Lewin most of the time is just feeding off scraps, and to just don't rely on winning the second ball and go from there really. Um, some games like they do play a bit of football, but I'm just convinced Dyche tells them like no, like because some games they actually do play some good stuff. Then the next game they'll just revert to just the usual Route One. It's just so painful to watch. Um, Sometimes like the good thing of them is they're always going to be hard to beat. They're always usually going to be in games, but it's just like when you need to take a game to a team and go for it a bit. Dyche is just not the manager you want. It's great when you're playing something like Man City or I don't know Liverpool because you very rarely get battered. You're always going to be in the game, because you're that hard to get you that hard to beat. But it's just the style of play in a game where you want to win at home like that against a mid-table side. It's just not the one really. I believe this takeover isn't far off. Now from the Roma owner. He wants to buy him. I don't think that's too far off now. So I presume he'll be getting rid of Dyche because I'm sure I saw something when he came in at Roma. he cleared out 75% of the club. So I presume he'll be doing something similar with Everton, and I'm pretty sure Dyche's contract's up at the end of the season anyway, so I doubt he'll be there next season. Whether he'll make it to the end of the season or not, I don't know. But yeah, I think Dyche, I said he keeps him to the end of the season. He keeps him up this year. I think he can walk away. He's done what he's been asked to do. Come in for a couple of years, kept the Reds above water. If he can get some stability this year and finish like 13th, 14th, that'd be great. But I think eventually he's not the one you want to be taking him forward. That's for sure. As for Fulham, just one of them teams. They're going to be between 14th and 10th. They've had a good start to the season, to be fair.
Classic Fulham, between 10th and 14th. Yeah.
They were unlucky not to win, to be fair, as well. And I thought they were the better side. And it's bad when Beto was having to come on and save it as well. So yeah.
You're liking a dig at Everton tonight, Josh, aren't you? You've got something to get off your chest, haven't you? Blimey.
No, has to be said. But yeah, exactly, really. But no, I thought Fulham deserved to win, really. But I suppose you can look at it another way. The 5 unbeaten now, I think. So they're looking at to beat again. They're just so poor to watch, really. That's all. Like, it does me head in. But if they're happy with that and just keeping them up, then fair enough. But for a neutral, it's just really, really dire to watch.
Tedious. Just come back to the added time. Trini says, I agree with adding the time on. Players need to stop wasting time, and deliberately time wasting. I agree. The onus is on them. They get enough protection. Now, that is an interesting debate to have in terms of should they just be piling the minutes on? Every time a goal kick, it now takes 1 to 2 minutes to take a goal kick, and free kicks, and time is being stripped out of the game, left, right, and centre, and then not added back on again. So maybe there's an argument for maintaining. I mean, yeah, because we all go ballistic when we head up to near 96, 7, 8. We think it's just unheard of, isn't it? It's like nobody can deal with it. 98 minutes, now blow the whistle. But yeah, maybe that's the conversation we need to have. For the TV, we need to stop conceding silly goals in the Prem. We've got Palace and Spurs, 6 points from them. We'll beat Spurs, definitely. Palace, they're a funny team.
Palace is in the cup anyway.
Oh, was it?
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Right. The question is, do Everton fans have their toffees before the tea or afterwards? I'd infer afterwards. That would be mine. Surely afterwards. You can't have it before your tea. Spoil your tea then, wouldn't it? Don't mix your words, Josh, but Everton, that's just telling off, Josh, that is. But yes, you're spot on. There we go.
Thank you.
Take the compliment. We haven't got a style or method of playing. I'm sorry, I've got something in my eye and I can't get it out. Anyway, right. Question for you about Villa. Josh, do you think playing in the main European competition is affecting your league form?
I don't know. People keep going on about this European hangover. I'm not sure if I buy it, to be honest. I mean, look at the squad we've got. You can say, I know it affected Newcastle last season, but our squad is a lot stronger than what Newcastle's was. We've got depth in every position. That's what's the good thing out of last year. We didn't really have that, but now all of the starting 11, because we lost people like Louise and Diaby in the summer, the starting 11's weaker. We've made the squad a lot stronger. So I don't know if I buy it, to be honest. We've got a really strong squad. Although that said, every time we've played in Europe midweek, we haven't won on the weekends. The 3 times we've played in Europe, we haven't won.
There's your European hangover.
So I just don't like to use it as an excuse, to be honest. But
I don't think it's an excuse. I think it's more of a justification because every team has it to an extent, barring the really, really big boys who can be a little bit worse. Like the likes of Liverpool and Man City can be a little bit tired, but they'll still win if they're playing Fulham or whatever. But like for the likes of Villa, Newcastle, West Ham, when we were involved in it, it was highlighted most weeks, and that result's a prime example of it, I think, and it is interesting, and there is a lot of football played, and I don't think it's an excuse, because you won't see Villa fans come out, yeah, we played midweek, so that's why we didn't win, and all the rest of it. But it's a factor, and it's a factor that people should accept, because it is tough. It is really tough. Right. Josh, leave Beto alone. Yeah, I told you. Sean is not going to appear tonight. I think he said he's working away or something. So yeah, there's no Sean tonight after they lost to Palace yesterday. Yeah, exactly. Sean is still buzzing off the Wolves that they won their cup final last week. Exactly. Let him have his moment. Bless him. Josh Lee. Oh yeah, we've done that. Sorry. With season, we are so poor and still 2 points behind Spurs and 5 points from sixth spot. Crazy. Crazy. Corey says, looking at Villa's Champions League fixtures, they should finish in the top 8 automatically. Yeah, I don't know who you've got left,
Sure.
but it's looking good, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not. It's still a big ask, but I think 9 should at least get you that playoff round anyway. So you'd hope so. Now I think we've got Celtic at home and Juventus at home, and then Club Brugge, Leipzig, and Monaco away. So we've got a good chance, but you never know.
There we go. Hey, Fathead, hope you have no shocker Spurs fan hiding after a loss. Let's go to the London Stadium next. West Ham 2, Manchester United 1. Let's give Josh a little break, and I'll happily, for once this season, talk about a West Ham game. I haven't said that for a while. The first half, not good. Really not good. Manchester United probably should have been out of sight in the game, and probably Eric Ten Hag would still have a job if Diego Dallo could score from unmissable, practically range. Missed an embarrassing open goal to give Manchester United the lead, alongside countless chances for Alejandro Garnacho and co, basically, because they all had so many chances unconverted, leaving it goalless at half time. And relatively happy I was that we were level, not with the performance, because I knew that a goal was effectively coming if we didn't change it, and boy did we change it. A triple change at half time from Julian Lopetegui indicated his frustration with the first half performance, and it did change. He changed it. He took off Paqueta, which made us a lot better. I didn't really mean to make that rhyme, but it did. Anyway, swiftly moving on. He took Paqueta off. He took Mavropanos off. He took Soler off. Somerville, Todibo, and Suchet came in, and we looked 10 times better as a unit, as a team. Defensively, there's still question marks over that straight ball over the top that we were being exploited by time after time after time. That's a concern. But positively, in the second half, we had a lot more energy. Somerville, absolutely take a bow. How we didn't start that game with Kudus unavailable, I'll never, ever know. He should have been the first name on the team sheet, and he should be the first name on the team sheet of Forest next week. Completely changed the game. His physicality is actually quite surprising when he's such a little lad, 5'2", 5'3", I think he is, whatever. Such a little lad, and the physicality and how he protects the ball is really, really good, and his skill and how he gets past players. He's just a really nice old-fashioned winger, because the point is he gets the ball, he tries to go forward and tries to put it into the box. And Danny Ings came on a little bit later, and he profited, and he had chances because of Somerville getting the ball into the box and giving him service. That's what we need to do. Is there a case for Ings coming in next week? I don't know. He had an impact when he came on, a miss hit, which then found its way to Somerville, who took his shirt off and really enjoyed that opening goal. I'm trying to speed through it because I know I'm waffling now. But Manchester United leveled things up. It was coming. We scored, and then we sat off, and pressure built, and they got their goal. It's awful defending. We had 5 players. Josh, believe this. We had 5 players in the box, right? And they were all just marking air, right? There was 2 free headers in the box. I think Zirkzee and Casemiro both had a free header in the box, and they together, collectively, got it into the back of the net. 1-1, back on level terms with 10 or 15 minutes to go at that point. I'm doing this at a real pace. I like it. 10 minutes to go, 1-1, and then and then the controversial moment. 87th minute it was. I think it was, because it took 5 minutes from the challenge being made to the penalty actually being taken. Right, that's why the added time was contributed to so much. Absolutely crazy how that game ended, but look, it's not a penalty. Let's just be honest, it's not a penalty. If that's up the other end, I am losing my head completely. I had flashbacks to a few years ago where we had a penalty in the last minute at the very same end against Manchester United to win the game. We subbed Mark Noble on at that point, and his first kick missed a penalty and David De Gea saved it. I think that was the game Lingard played, and Lingard scored against us. That was a bad afternoon. This was a good afternoon. Jarrod Bowen had 5 minutes to dwell and think what way he was going and let the pressure get to him. Straight in that corner, keeper guessed the right way, and it was a really, really good penalty to take all 3 points. It wasn't a penalty. There's handballs in there. There's barely any contact. It's clumsy, I suppose you could say, but is it enough to warrant a penalty? Probably not. I'm going to take a breath, and Josh, I'm going to ask you whether you thought it was a penalty.
I haven't even seen it, to be honest.
Oh, you haven't even seen it?
It weren't the Sky game, was it? So
It
I wasn't
wasn't,
watching
no.
that one yesterday. Yeah, I seen that Dallo missed out. I reckon he might have just done that to get Ten Hag sacked. You know, like, have you ever seen the Gerrard one where under Roy Hodgson where he misses the pen and people say that one's on purpose? I heard a few conspiracy theories saying that Dallo's done the same now as well. Fair,
it was a dreadful mess.
Yeah,
it was dreadful.
Horrendous. Yeah,
it was. It was. Right, whilst I've been waffling, I have 28 comments to get through, so let's do that. Moyes to Man United in a rescue mission to keep them up. Does anyone think it was a penalty? No, not me. We were lucky Man U didn't win. We were lucky Man United didn't want Ten Hag to be their boss, absolutely. Terry, hope you are. Good evening, sir. Rashford has gone downhill big time since he got involved in the off-the-field stuff, even though he did a good job at it. He was poor. He has been poor for a while, Rashford, and he maintains his place in the team. I don't see what he brings, to be honest. The ref eventually gave the pen, so it is a pen. Yeah, I mean, listen, we've been done over too many times by it. Never a pen, but who cares? I'll take it. Absolutely. The biggest change was working as a back five in the second half, allowing Wan-Bissaka to do his thing. Absolutely. We've had so many bad decisions against us when playing Man United, so it's good to get one in our favour. Man United fan Corey says, Jake, I think you're wasting time sticking with this manager. You've got a talented squad being wasted. You deserve better. Look, if we'd have lost this game and then probably lost Forest and Everton in a couple of weeks, then I think he would have been out of the door himself. I mean, there was a real big release of emotion when we won, and I think it was quite important to Lopetegui, and he understood and probably acknowledged the pressure that was building around him. He is under pressure and he's not currently performing. Having said that, we just beat Man United, but there was a huge slice of luck attached to that. So you give as much as you take in that sense. Some of it will be our Bowen on the left wing if given the chance. Absolutely. Larry, hope you are well. Somerville, Ings and Bowen next week. 100%. 100%. And then have, and then don't start Paqueta as well and chuck another one in there. Like, why not? Honestly, why not? I'd even be tempted not to play Paqueta and have Antonio in there with Ings so they can help each other. So we just don't get Ings too isolated if we don't have the ball too much. That's what I'd be tempted to do. 92nd minute, then 15 added on after we scored. Crazy, absolutely crazy. On this day and age, with all the joke penalties that have been given, not even sure why they took so long. That's true. Terry says, if that's a pen, then my name is Chippy McChipface. Well, there's an inside joke there that some will get. 3 home wins against Man United on a bounce. Not taking any credit, but I was at all 3. Well, there we go. Maybe Fathead's the good omen at Manchester United at home. Yeah, we never beat them away and we always beat them at home. It's really weird. Really, really weird. Peter says, with safety first, Unhano, he should have gone off after the knee to the head. Trini says, I won't ever forget the Gordon penalty against us last season. The Phillips one, that was awful. Absolutely awful. Right, let's have a little look here. Fathead says, would be nice if a Steiden signing scored, James. Let's face it, some of it was a noble Moyes and Lopetegui pick. There we go. Loppe cannot start like that against Forest. Absolutely not. We'll get battered. Paqueta needs time on the bench. He does. Michael says, Paqueta may not be here. He has a hearing with the Brazilian FA. He's not going to be much of a miss. Saturday, I would start the same lineup that came out in the second half, 100%. 100%, and that at the bottom of the comment section. We are quite behind, but oh well. Josh, Arsenal 2, Liverpool 2. A game that didn't really tell us too much in the end, but Gabriel went off, which will concern Mikel Arteta even more. He ended the game with neither of his 2 starting centre halves on the pitch. Whose point is it gained and whose 2 points is it lost? Arsenal with a lot of injuries. I don't know. Is it a point gained for both?
See, the thing is, I think if Arsenal are winning the league, then I think they should be probably winning that game. But then if you look at the back four that they had out by the end of that game, when there's some like 16-year-old at fullback, then you had that Killior, Ben White, and with a Partey fullback. So if you look at that back four by the end, and you're playing Liverpool, then probably is a point gain because like that back four they are out by the end and you're playing you're up against people like Salah, Diaz, Nunes, and the man's got a point. Then maybe it is a point game, but then again I think if you want to be winning the league, I think they, they probably should have won that. I actually do think Arsenal deserve to win it. I don't think Liverpool were that great, to be honest. I don't think Liverpool have looked that great all season. They haven't really played anyone decent yet. Obviously, Arsenal was the first like real decent team they've played, but they were quite lucky against Chelsea last week as well. But then yesterday, I thought Arsenal were the better team, to be honest. I thought Liverpool was always going to look dangerous on the break with the quick forwards. You got like Salah, Diaz, Nunes, but overall, I thought Arsenal were the better side, and I think if they did have the full team out, I think Arsenal probably would have won comfortably, to be honest. Liverpool have started well, I'd say they haven't really played no one yet, and a lot of the games they've grinded out. And they beat Palace 1-0 for Chelsea. They were quite lucky, and they had the slip up against Forest as well. The ones they have won, they grinded out. I think they've got the job done in most of the games, but I don't think they've blew any socks off either. So it'd be interesting to see when they start playing the better teams, how they get on. Obviously, they got a good point yesterday. But obviously, I think Arsenal, if they had the full team, I just don't think Liverpool would have got that point. But yeah, it's one of them. I'd say, considering the back four that Arsenal had out by the end of that game, I think if they'd have seen they would have had that back four out before the game, they probably would have taken a point. But they've dropped quite a few points already now, Arsenal. I think they're 5 or 6 points behind City already, and that's really not great for them at all. But then again, I'd say that back four, you can't complain with a point in the end, I suppose. So yeah, it was an interesting game, but I'd probably say it's a point game for both in the end, to be honest.
Yeah, there was talk as we went into the game of Arsenal becoming really detached from Man City and Liverpool, 6 or 7 points, and the gap between the three is now just 5, with Arsenal on 18, Liverpool on 22, and Man City on 23. So 5 points between the three sides. Liverpool and Man City neck and neck. Arsenal have already fallen behind, and by losing 3 games so far out of, they've lost. They've lost 1. They've drew 3. So they haven't won 4 games so far this season, and that is effectively why they have fallen behind, and they'll want to get that gap closed as quickly as possible. A couple of comments on this game. Let's start with Michael. He says Arsenal played the second half like they had 10 men, 2-1 up and retreated. Trini says I watched the Man City versus Arsenal and Arsenal versus Liverpool, and for me I think Liverpool will win it until the injuries. Not sure Arsenal can play any better, but Liverpool definitely can play better. They have impressed me, Liverpool. I just always think there's a sense of inevitability with Manchester City. I think they will go 5 in a row. A couple of injuries could halt Liverpool as well. Man City they seem inevitable, and I do think they'll go on and win it again. And I won't be too objecting to that. I will be quite happy if that happens. So there we go. Corey says, Jake, you should have got Ruben Amorim when you had the chance, buying Liverpool and Barcelona. Wanted him absolutely. He was a name that we were linked with, but never followed through with in the end. Michael says, the best Arsenal will get this season is 4th. Chelsea, better than them. Wow. There is a statement and a half. Chelsea, of course, impressing again, beating Newcastle at the Bridge. Hopefully Rice won't win anything. Yeah, we do not want that at all. Right, we will wrap it up there. Josh, another game week done. Who have you got next weekend?
Tottenham away.
Oh yeah, so we can have a little Premier League roundup derby next week. Then let's hope you beat them, Josh. Get in there and beat them. Thank you very much indeed. As always, hopefully we will have the returning Sean next week. I'd have been fresh off of my trip to Nottingham with Terry, of course. Dad's still on the cruise, so we're having a nice lad's day out in Nottingham. Love Nottingham Forest away. Good ground. good atmosphere. So looking forward to that. Hopefully West Ham can do the business, and hopefully Villa can beat Tottenham, because that would be mildly amusing. Thanks everybody for getting involved in the chat. Good show, Mario. I mean, Jake, very funny. You've been waiting all show to do that, Peter, haven't you? Very good. I rate it. I do rate it. Yeah. Thank you very much, everybody else. Early doors, come on, you Irons, Larry as well. From me, come on, you Irons. Up the video from Josh, and we'll see you soon right here on West Ham Unofficial. Thank you very much. Hang on, Jake is buying the beers at Forest. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Right. I've decided I'm not buying the beers. Right. So I might buy Nigel one, but I'm not buying no rounds of beers because it cost me too much. You taking the babysitter, Jake? No, I'm not. No, the babysitter's not coming to Nottingham Forest. I don't have a babysitter. I'm here on my own. Trust me, I'm here on my own. Josh, honestly, somebody needs to back me up here, please.
Oh.
He's speechless. He doesn't know what to say. Fair enough. Fair enough. Josh, thank you. Thank you, everyone else. We'll see you soon. Bye bye.